Hi everyone, today's video is about the game God of War Ragnarok. This game is one of a kind, unforgettable experience. It is a direct sequel to 2018 Santa Monica's God of War, which won GOTY. This is probably the best game behind Elden Ring to come out of 2022. I loved the first game and super keen to play this once I got it. I have to mention that I didn't have a single issue running the game at all. No freezing, stuttering, FPS drops, nothing. This is an unbelievable PC port. The expectations and the bar for God of War Ragnarok was so high and almost impossible to reach because God of War 2018 ended up being one of the greatest games of all time, and sequels of projects historically ends up being a bit toned down. But it's safe to say that they knocked the ball out of the park and gave this series a new height with this one. They did it so well. The story, graphics, game mechanics, dialogues, character development, shock value, sound designing, music production, twists and turns, and so many more things makes this game truly the best God of War game of them all. Small things like developers having a humor and actually adding it to the game with clever dialogues by our characters is like the cherry on the top we didn't even know we needed. Definitely has replay value. The storytelling in this game is top tier. I understand why it was contender for the Game of the Year. There were tons of emotional moments in this game. Some even made me shed tears. Kratos, behind that stoic, tough exterior, shows more emotion, makes him feel more human rather god. And Atreus still learning, growing, but to finally make his own choices to be a man. The cinematic cutscenes were just simply S-tier. I loved the story of this game and how much it has built upon the previous. It is one of those games where it feels like a great movie and game all in one. Santa Monica Studios nailed the world building of this game. They built upon the first game and often quote the events of the first game and the older gamers, which depends on the overall lore significantly. I do not believe there is a single bad character in this game. They are all well written, well acted, and they all interact with each other so well. Every character has well written stakes in the conflict and just makes the final so much more impactful. The side quests are just amazing in this game, though not all of them, but most of them. They add upon the world, the characters and their history with one another, and they have important dialogue of all of which just aimed me to have a deeper connection to the characters and the world. Side quests, bosses, and the endgame bosses just add a fun challenge to the game as well. The combat is fun, it's simple, easy to understand, and satisfying. I loved creating my own combos in my head and seeing it pan out when I tried it. There is a diverse amount of special abilities to add to the weapons, and there is no right answer to defeating the hardest bosses. You could just pick your poison and go at them. Moreover, the diverse range of builds with the armor, relics, and gems only deepen the combat, which is always great. The combat remains as engaging ever, blending visceral melee and ranged attacks with a deep skill tree that allows for variety playstyles. The addition of new abilities and combos enriches the experience, while boss battles are challenging and satisfying. Exploration is rewarding, filled with secrets and lore that enhance the narrative. Most of the negatives I have of the game are just nitpicks. I did not enjoy the UI and the map. I feel like the UI could have been simplified to make it easier to navigate. The map was just hard to use. It was difficult to see which is the right path to take, and it barely zooms in to see any details. Lastly, Atreus' combat was too easy, even on the harder difficulty. which often led to the parts where you controlled him felt like they were dragging. So far, Ragnarok is a perfect example of how a sequel should be made. It doesn't need to be flashy or reinvent what isn't broken. Instead, it focuses strictly on the problems of its predecessor and fixes them. Overall, I loved this game. It was difficult to pop it down even after finishing the game to 100%. I definitely recommend it to buy. So guys, this was our short review of Ragnarok. Please leave your comments. I know that many people have difficulties with it, many people really love it, but I do enjoy the story of Atreus and his father. So please leave your comments, let's discuss. Thank you for watching and see you next video. Bye.